Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where Dalton disappoints me weekly. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm disappointing.
Ooh, I like that.
You're welcome. Isn't that a nice little spice?
I like that.
I just threw that on there for you.
Yeah.
We're here for some book news.
Book news.
May book news. Things that are coming up in May.
News d'aller book.
There are some good things coming up in May, too. There are some very bad things coming up in May.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Bit of a disappointing haul overall.
Okay, so I have this problem here. I don't think, we were talking about, is literature dead? Is good literature dead? I would argue no. There's good literature out there. But unfortunately, when you look at a list of what's coming out in May, you're going to see nothing but James Patterson's new book. You're going to see Nora Roberts' new book. You're just going to get, all the good literature will be lost. It is hard to find the gems.
There is a very big gem, though.
There is a hugely big gem.
Yeah.
Thomas Harris. Thomas Harris.
Oh.
I'm jumping right into it. Did you have a pregnant pause? I'm so sorry.
No. I was thinking about the other gem.
Oh. Thomas Harris on May 16th is coming out with a new novel. This is his first novel in, I want to say, like 40 years?
40? No.
20 years?
No.
Something like that?
15,
his first
I think?
non-Hannibal Lecter novel.
Oh, first non-Hannibal Lecter novel in
Ages.
40 years. It was the mid-70s, I think, when Black Sunday came out.
And not a lot known about this. Thomas Harris, a bit of a recluse, but this will be his first novel coming out without Hannibal Lecter, his character that made him famous. It is called, I believe it's pronounced...
Second novel, not including Hannibal Lecter.
Is it?
Yeah, Black Sunday.
Oh, first novel in X amount of years. My apologies. This is called Carrimora. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. C-A-R-I?
Kari, I believe.
Carrimora. And I'm kind of excited for that one. We reviewed Hannibal in the infancy of this channel, and I think Thomas Harris has some chops, and I'm excited to see what he does with this. Hopefully it's good.
We had talked about going ahead and cutting that into our schedule at one point. When does it come out?
May 16th.
The 16th? It's possible we might be able to cut it in there at some point.
I'd be excited about that one. I would.
Yeah, we're sort of at a standstill with production right now. I mean, we're between a lot of books. I think it's possible to get that snuck in there.
It's a good way to put it. I'm just between a lot of books right now. That's what I am. Also, in May 7th, a lovely little tale.
Oh, you didn't do this chronologically?
No, I didn't.
No.
Just like every book list I've ever found. If you have a list of like the 50 most anticipated books of 2019, and it's not chronological, there is a special spot in hell for you.
You know what I'm doing?
Salting me.
Yep, put a little salt on
That's
there.
fine. Knuckle tattoo. Salt. Anyway, again, but better.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the name of the book. Again, but better.
You mean you want to write it again, but better this time?
No, that's the name of the book. May 7th. Again, but better. Christine Riccio. Do you know who that is?
Oh, I do.
You do?
Why don't you tell me?
Isn't that Poland Banana Books?
Is it?
The alleged queen of the booktube world?
I only knew her as the author.
Oh, the author?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is a novel. A young adult novel that she is publishing. It is coming out on May 7th. I believe it follows the tale of a young woman going to London to do things right, to find herself.
I don't think that's right. You said, didn't you say grades 12 and up, or did you say age 12 and up?
It's listed age 12.
Age 12. Okay. I thought you said grade 12 and up. I was just saying, no, that would be new adult then. So there's going to be some sex in that novel, but there's not. If it's young adult, there's not.
Dare I say, I would love to review that book.
Do we have to throw some cogs into the fine-oiled machinery of Strip Cover Lit this month?
Yes, we do.
Pick up 2 new books?
Yes, we do.
You said it's coming out in hardback, didn't you?
Coming out in hardback release.
Is that going to be at Barnes & Noble?
Probably.
If they have that at Barnes & Noble, we will have to do it for the channel.
I don't know what May 7th is, but
What
if it's
May-Day?
a Friday, we're going to the Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
So anyway, Poland Banana Books booktuber on the YouTube machine. You may be familiar with her. She's the big one.
She's the
most subscribed
the
to.
biggest, yeah. 300, almost 400,000.
Almost 400,000. I have opinions about that channel and how it functions.
Go on.
No, it's fine. It's
No,
fine.
go on.
I would like to read
Why
this.
no? Why do you want to stop short of the salt here?
I would like to read this from a non-biased view. I would like to give
Did
this...
you just do one of those?
I would like to give this a full literary review. Literary analysis, recommendations, 3 good, 3 bad. I'd like to give this the full 9.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yes.
We can do that.
We should.
Do you want to?
No. But yes.
What are you telling me here?
I at this point, I'm saying, Adrian, will you hold my hand and tell me we can do this because I want it? But I don't know the...
But also, will you slap me and tell me, no, it's a bad idea?
It's going to go one or two ways. I'm going to get my satisfaction, and I'm going to be able to rant, or it's going to surprise the hell out of me.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to just jump on somebody who's writing a book. I don't want to... So I took it to Dogs of Babel.
You did.
Might have been unfair. I have no idea. Who wrote it?
Carolyn Parkhurst.
Carolyn Parkhurst. I don't know anything about Carolyn Parkhurst.
Fair.
It's like, so there was a quarterback for the Chiefs at one point in time named Tyler Thigpen. And we had 4 quarterbacks get hurt, so Tyler Thigpen played.
Had to step up.
Had to step up. Was thrown into the fire. And one of the most compelling sports takes I have ever heard came from Nick Wright on the subject. Tyler Thigpen was stinking it up. During the Tyler Thigpen reign, the Chiefs reintroduced the pistol offense to the NFL. It means nothing to most of the people watching this. Was something that no one ever thought was going to reemerge in the NFL. Now it's a staple. But had to come about because Tyler Thigpen was so bad. Everyone was calling sports radio and ranting about Tyler Thigpen. And Nick Wright said simply, do you think Tyler Thigpen asked for this? No. Tyler Thigpen wanted to play football. Someone was willing to give him a job.
So he did.
Maybe Christine Riccio wanted to write a book and someone gave her the contract.
I will give her props on this. I do not have a published novel.
I do not
It
either.
is better than I have done with my writership.
Yep.
Good for you for getting that contract.
I also bet she doesn't have a full-time job.
I would also like to point out, I read the little tidbit you get about the book.
Okay.
I would love to read and review this book. I would like to keep it at that.
Okay. Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
What was the blurb about Carrimora?
The blurb about Carrimora, it has something to do with a mystery of like X amount of money has gone. It's something about gold.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you what that book's
No,
about.
you get like a schmeckling. You get like a couple lines, just like, here's some flavor for you.
They're not going to tell you what that book's about.
But anyway,
Moving on.
Are we wanting to do birthdays or literary events this year?
Birthdays are always last.
Okay. So we got a couple literary events in May.
Okay.
I have 2 here. One close, one not close. I always like the close one because there is nothing in the Midwest where we're from.
In your handwriting, it definitely looks like boob fair.
That's book. That's a K. Anyway, May 2nd through 5th, the Greater St. Louis Book Fair. This is one of the oldest and largest charity book sales in the nation. I think they've been at it for over 60 years.
I've lived in St. Louis. I would much rather have a St. Louis book fair than a boob fair.
Fair statement. Fair statement. But anyway, this is
T.S. Eliot from St. Louis, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I'll give that to you. I don't like you. Anyway, Greater Book Fair. I always like a good book sale. I think that would be interesting if we wanted to make the pilgrimage down. It's about 4 hours south. We could probably get there no problem at all. Anyway.
Why don't we just ride the Missouri River south and we'll get there eventually?
Build me a raft. Let's do it. It's fine. Anyway, May 29th and 31st to round out the month of May, New York City Book Expo America, where you can meet such acclaimed authors like John Cena and Rick Riordan from the Percy Jackson series.
John Cena's going to be at the book fair?
Can't make it up.
What is he doing there? Did he write a book?
I don't know. He's just being John Cena, I would assume. I assume he's got a book that he wrote about being John Cena. Maybe he's some kind of author that I've never heard of. But yeah, that's a good old top billing there. You can come to the Book Expo and see John Cena. That's where we're at right now.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Is George Saunders going to be there? Winner of the Man Booker Prize, George Saunders? No, but John Cena will be. So will Rick Riordan.
Maya Angelou born in St. Louis. Did you know that?
Good for her. Yeah. Good for her. Sonia Sotomayor is going to be there as well. I will give that. It's That'd be an interesting talk to hear. And I'm going to butcher the last name because I have for years, but Stephen Achopsky is the guy who wrote Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's a book that I enjoyed in my youth. He will be there as well, along with a lot of other names. But it's just killing me that Book Expo America, this is one of the big ones, well, you can come and see John Cena because you don't care about the authors, you might as well come see John Cena.
William S. Burroughs. You could see his boobs at a St. Louis boob fair because he was born in St. Louis.
Why, are you on a shtick of like people born in St. Louis right now?
It's embarrassing being from Kansas City and everybody's from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Mark Twain's from Missouri, not Kansas City.
And Mark Twain is from Hannibal.
Yeah. Langston Hughes was born in Missouri, not Kansas City.
Really?
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
I'm going to blank on the town, but he was born in... It was it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think it. I think he lived in St. Louis for a bit.
J.C. Penney was born in Hamilton, Missouri, the man who invented J.C. Penney's.
Yeah.
And that is a little town. It's about 5 minutes away from my hometown. And every year they have, they either call it like Penny Days or the Penny Fair or something, where there's literally like 2 booths set up on the town square that no one goes to. Much like J.C. Penney.
Yep. Yeah, J.C. Penney wasn't a writer, Dalton.
I just wanted to point that
You're
out.
just people from Missouri.
Yeah.
Eminem, writer,
Also from Missouri.
St. Joe.
Well, John Cena's going to the Book Expo, so why not bridge this gap?
Why not, isn't John Hamm from St. Louis?
I don't know who that is.
John Hamm, he's an actor, Mad Men, all sorts of stuff. There's a big wrestler from St. Louis as well.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton is from St. Louis.
There you go.
So maybe
Anyway,
Randy Orton will be at the St. Louis Boob Fair.
apparently we should just move to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have some birthdays in May as well, literary birthdays.
May 1st, old Joseph Heller. Do you know Joseph Heller?
I don't, but I feel like maybe as the year progresses, I might get a little more familiar with Joseph Heller.
So you don't know Joseph Heller, but you know about Joseph Heller because you've never read him. That's a catch-22.
Isn't it?
May 5th, Karl Marx.
Okay.
Light-hearted Karl Marx.
Cinco de Mayo party. We should have a Karl Marx party.
Yeah. The 7th, Robert Browning. The 8th, Thomas Pynchon. The 16th, Adrian Rich. This is Poetry and Commitment from Adrian Rich. I would like to read a couple compelling quotes that I like from this text. Fashion grows old from the moment it is born, while creativity is ageless. Therefore, not all modernity is creativity, but creativity is eternally modern. Yeah. The Kissing Page. The tradition of those who have written against the silences of their time and location. Without it, in poetry as in politics, our world is unintelligible.
I feel like this is a little niche of Adrian's brain here. Somebody you've come across and you fell in love with, and not a lot of people know.
I have fallen in love with Poetry and Commitment by Adrian Rich. I do not know her poetry.
Okay.
I've read some of it. I don't enjoy it, which is sort of disappointing. Sort of
fair.
disappointing.
That's fair. Some people are really good about writing about literature, but they're not good about writing literature,
Right.
which is interesting.
Kate Chopin
The Awakening.
would be at the St. Louis Book Fair,
Oh, would she?
not the St. Louis Boob Fair.
Also from St. Louis.
Yes. The 17th, Gary Paulson. 17th of May, Gary Paulson.
Why am I blanking on that?
Hatchet.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Questionably children's literature writer
Questionably?
Gary Paulson. Yeah.
Well, that's a throwback there. I had to knock some dust off the back there and be like, who the hell wrote Hatchet?
If it was not already obvious, we do not talk about this beforehand.
Absolutely not.
Right? The 18th, Bertrand Russell.
Okay.
On the 21st, Dante Alighieri. Dante Alighieri? Dante Alighieri? However you say that, that is when Dante was born, the 21st of May. Sharing a birthday with him, Alexander Pope.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 big names that day.
2 big names that
Huge
day.
names.
On the 22nd, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Wasn't he the guy that wrote the James Bond novels?
Must have been.
What did he write?
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Is that Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
Thought so.
The 25th.
I realize sometimes I just get nervous and apologize for you because you're going to fill it in anyway when I know the answer. Disappointed in myself today.
On the 25th, a lot of birthdays. 25th of May, big day in literary history because we have Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Okay.
We have Theodore Rothke. You know Theodore Rothke?
No.
Pop's Waltz. You've got to read that poem. Very big poem. Very good poem. Robert Ludlum, very popular author. Raymond Carver.
Not ringing a bell on Raymond Carver.
Raymond Carver is one of these strange writers for whom people like ourselves have a large blind spot because he does not fall into the reading we got through school.
Okay.
He does not fall into the brand new creative geniuses. He's lost in the middle there.
Okay.
Between, I don't know, Hemingway and George Saunders.
Okay.
So we sort of know George Saunders forward from our own readership, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Were you waiting for affirmation?
No,
there?
I didn't know if you skitzed out, if you just paused, if I had to press a play button. You were just sitting and giving me that blank stare for a while.
Well, it's interesting.
Hold on. We know a little bit from before Raymond Carver that way back in time because of our education.
Okay.
So we've got this blind spot in our education. Richard Ford, Raymond Carver.
Well, it's interesting to me. Do you think as time moves forward and you start reading more, we start developing more, do you think those authors are going to start getting their little niche in the literary world?
It is troubling to ask that question.
It's like the question, what are we going to teach from our generation?
Right. George Saunders will definitely make it out. We've got the Maya Angelou's of the world who are not our generation, but appreciated in our generation that you have to believe are going to make it out. And it leaves you the question, basically starting with our generation, is what lives going to be that which is popular?
Okay.
Because Hemingway, popular in his day.
Very true.
Hemingway also very literary. Today, the very literary, the George Saunders, not very popular. The very popular, Robert Ludlum,
not very literary.
So what is it that will live from here? What is it that will emerge? What is it that people going forward...
It will be the bane of my existence, but I know it's coming, that this will be the generation that's remembered for the development of the young adult literary genre.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
That's all it's going to be. Like,
so.
We had Harry Potter and Stephanie Meyer and all this. I'm done.
Yeah. Martha Gellhorn might be at the St. Louis Boob Fair.
Are you still pushing on who's from St. Louis?
Well, I'm just putting forth my Hemingway-centric viewpoint.
How dare you critique my handwriting of all people?
People love my handwriting.
The only thing your handwriting is good for is hopefully one day writing me a prescription.
People love my handwriting. Mm-hmm. Have you not been on our Instagram at StripCoverLit? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I will post little pictures that have to do with my writing. People love my handwriting.
Okay. Moving on.
You get on there.
Moving on.
Still on the 25th, Jamaica Kincaid.
Okay.
On the 28th, Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming wrote James Bond.
No, Ian Fleming wrote...
What did Ian Fleming write?
Ian Fleming was the person... who was it that you mentioned earlier with Conan Arthur Doyle?
Sherlock Holmes?
Arthur Conan Doyle. I always do that. Yeah, Ian Fleming created Sherlock Holmes.
I hate you so much right now. I am too tired for this nonsense. Move forward.
On the 31st, we've got Walt Whitman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whitman, a good one.
Yeah.
I enjoy me
Whitman,
some
a good one.
So yeah, a couple new releases, a couple literary events, a lot of birthdays. Apparently, if you're going to have a kid, May 25th, is that the day?
Yeah.
Shoot for May 25th.
It'll get you a literary icon.
Look at that. Look at that. I hope like 100 years from now, they're going to be like, an Adrian Fort born on this day, allegedly.
Yeah,
Because
no one
knew.
knew. No one knew Adrian's birthday.
That's
He would never tell anybody.
So this was book news.
He consumed all of his driver's licenses.
I genuinely don't think you were actually born. I think you just came into existence.
I was spawned into existence.
You might be the Edward Cullen of my world. Like, I'm not sure yet.
Was Edward Cullen spawned?
I don't...
Or are you just saying that because I am devastatingly good looking?
I think we're done here.
And
Would you
when
like to end us here?
And when I look in your eyes, I can talk you into things like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle created
Conan
James
Arthur Doyle?
Bond. Why do I do that?
I don't know.
This has been Strip Cover Lit and your book news for the month of May. I am Adrian Fort still.
I'm still Dalton Gentry.
He's a sad sack.
I'm still disappointing.
Hit the like button if you do like this sort of thing. Give us a little bit of feedback if there is some way through which we might improve this series. We are always looking for better ideas than just what books are coming out, what literary fairs, and what birthdays there are in the month, but we have no ideas at this point. This is the fifth time we've done this. I don't remember when we started.
Do it once a month, a little different of a segment than we normally do.
Yeah, and it's not getting any better. So we would love to offer you some type of improvement. And if you were so inclined, there is a link, as always, to our Patreon in the description below.